What's up, everybody? So, my very first sale of the day, and we got a score. Hold on, there's a bunch of people here. Sales right there. Pretty big sale. I kind of just stumbled onto it. Walk up, ask if they got games. They laugh, you know, they smirk, they do, you know, what somebody does when they do have stuff. So I ask him, like, you know, you wouldn't mind me asking, like, what do you have? And he said he has a little bit of everything. And I was like, well, you know, I think maybe there's some games in there that you might want to sell, you know, you don't play or whatever. So he took me back and I looked through, and for 20 bucks, I ended up getting an NES game, Little League Baseball, a great Sega game, Sunset Riders, and it's complete. A complete in-box Game Genie for the Game Gear, and an NES with one controller and RF switch, and then Game Boy Advance. No back, but I mean, still, it's all right condition. 20 bucks. And I gave him my number because he's you know, looking for an N64, and he has a lot more stuff. So I said, you know, hey, I mean, if you want to, we can maybe do some trades or something like that. So pretty good. And for my very first sale, really good one. 20 bucks, you know, can't beat that. I mean, Sunset Riders, to find that game for Sega Genesis, that's a good one right there. I can't believe I found that one. That one's definitely going in the collection. But yeah, I'm on my way to I was on my way to a sale when I stumbled upon this one, so I'm on my way to that sale right now. So if I find anything else, I'll let you guys know. What's up, guys? So we stopped at another little storage sale. And I mean, I guess this lady, she had sold games before, so she didn't really have much left. But for 20 bucks, took me a little while to haggle her down, just because, you know, I don't think any of these games are like that crazy valuable or nothing. But I got 8 NES games. You guys can see them right there. So 20 bucks, not a bad deal. Doing pretty good today, actually. I mean, I've only been in, you know, a couple sales. This is what Madden got. Their little, what are they called? So, I don't know. There's something like little ninja guys or something like that, but he loves them. We got that little baggie for 50 cents, and there's a bunch of them in there. All right, guys. So, as I'm pulling out right here, you can see the sale. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of up a driveway, but it's back that way. I hit a pretty good mother load right now. About to hit up another sale this way, but yeah, I hit a mother load. I go up, I almost missed a sale actually, because it's on a main road. I didn't, you know, see no signs, but I go up there, ask if they have video games, and they look at their son, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, I got stuff, I want to keep it all, but whatever. But he brings it out anyways, and it's a crate full of, like, I got Dreamcast games, Sega games, N64 games. There's a couple loose disc, like PS1 games. There's an N64, a GameCube, some GameCube games, a Game Boy Color, a regular Game Boy, a Sega Genesis, just a bunch of Game Boy games, a bunch of stuff. I mean, for the N64 games, there was Mario Kart, Super Mario, and Mario Party. All of this stuff, 40 bucks. 40 bucks for it. He went and tried the N64, but he couldn't get it to work. It wouldn't turn on or something like that. I mean, it's probably a really easy fix, but he was gonna keep the N64 and the 3 Mario games, but since it didn't work, he threw it in the bundle, and 40 bucks. I mean, that's a mega deal right there. I mean, just the Dreamcast games. So I'm super stoked. This day turned right around. I'm about to hit one more sale right here, and then I'll probably call it quits for today. But yeah, this this is a mega day right here. So yeah, if I find anything else, I'll show you guys. But if not, I get everything together and show you guys what I got. All right, guys. This sale did have something for 15 bucks. You see down there, I got that Wii. Came in the box with a few good games. The best game, I don't know if the game is there though. It might be inside the Wii. It wasn't in the case, but the Mario, the new Super Mario Bros. I'll show you the sale real quick. Right there. So yeah, 15 bucks. Not a bad deal at all, especially considering it's in the box. This box might be better than the one that I have. So if it is, I'll swap it out and just, you know, sell off the other one. But she said everything works great. They just it sat because her son plays his Xbox 360 instead. So pretty good deal for 15 bucks. But that's gonna be it for us. We're done for the day. So probably gonna go get something to eat, go home, get everything together, and I'll show you guys what I got. See you guys in a bit. What's up, everybody? So I'm all done with the yard sale stuff. I'm actually filming this like right after getting back from yard sales. I had a lot of stuff, you know, just eager to show you guys what I got. Pretty good day. Now, I started out my day going to Grand Terrace, California. I was headed to a sale that listed video games. But while I was in the area, you know, I started following some signs. And it was pretty early. It was like 6:30 or maybe like 6:30, yeah. And I hit this one sale, and it looked pretty good. You know, they had a lot of good stuff out. So I walk up, I ask, you know, you guys got any video games? Immediately they point to their son, and you know, he's like, yeah, I do, but I don't really, you know, I want to keep it all. And then I just get to talking to him, and kind of just, you know, get a feel for, you know, what he has and stuff, and ask him, well, you think maybe there's any games that you're not playing or any systems that you're not playing? So he takes me in the garage, opens up a box, and he's just got a different array of stuff in there. There was a stack of NES games, a Nintendo that was missing the top, some Sega stuff, Sega games. There was a Game Genie for the Sega Genesis, Game Genie for the Game Gear, and then he had another Nintendo and a Super Nintendo. So I was able to get some stuff from him. Now, for 20 bucks, which fantastic deal for what I got. I'll show you. I got one NES game, a Sega game, the Game Gear Game Genie, and NES, and Game Boy Advance. So the NES game, only because this was the only one that he wanted to get rid of, and I didn't have this one. Little League Baseball. I haven't checked it up, so I don't know the value on this one. But I didn't have it in my collection, so happy to add that one to the collection. Next, Game Boy Advance. It's missing the back, but it does work, so pretty cool. The Game Genie for the Game Gear, complete in the box. I have never seen one of these complete in the box. He had the Game Genie for the Sega Genesis complete in the box, but he wanted to keep that. But he didn't care about the Game Gear one because he didn't have a Game Gear. And I have a Game Gear complete in the box. So this is a super nice add to the collection. I'm going to show that one last. NES with one controller and just a generic RF switch. And then the best one of the lot, and I was surprised that he didn't want this one. He had 4 Sega Genesis games complete in the box, and the one he wanted to keep the most was Sonic. And I picked this one up, and he said, sure, go for it. Sunset Riders. And this is complete. Manual. The cart is in fantastic shape. This is a pretty hard game to find on the Genesis. I have it loose cart on the Super Nintendo, but complete in box for Sega Genesis. I love getting, you know, complete in box Genesis games, so super happy to have this one. One of my all-time favorite games, and I've never played it on the Sega Genesis, so I'm excited to pop this in a little while later. So yeah, 20 bucks for that one. Super amazing deal. Okay, so and I hit one more sale after that one, and then I finally got to the sale that listed video games, and all they had was like a PS2 controller, a PS1 controller, and like a dance pad. They said it was just stuff that was left behind from the previous owners of the house. So I passed on that stuff. Couple more sales, and then I hit another storage sale, and this was the second lady that I talked to, and she had a box full of NES games and 2 boxes of Xbox games. Now, she had been selling these games before, and she had them already priced out. It took me a little work, but I was able to get 8 games for 20 bucks. So the games are To the Earth, Rescue the Embassy Mission, Hook, Metal Mech, Man and Machine, Top Players Tennis, The Guardian Legend, Solstice, and Dragon Warrior. So some pretty good titles there. 20 bucks, not a bad deal at all. Let's see here. Okay, so this next pickup, this was an amazing pickup. I'm in Riverside at this point and driving down a main road, and I almost passed a sale. You know, I saw it real quick. I slowed down, backed up, walk up the driveway, ask, you got any video games? Immediately everyone looks at the kid, and he's like, yeah, I got a lot of games. I want to keep them or whatever. And I mean, they always say that, but if you're polite to them and you ask them, well, you think maybe there's actually some stuff that you might want to sell, usually they always end up selling it all, or they sell, a bunch of games. Sometimes I get, a couple games I needed for my collection and stuff like that. So he brings out this crate right here, and it was full to the top of just amazing stuff. Okay, I'll start with, let me start with these. These were just loose discs. There's a couple PS1 games in here. Nothing special. I got Bugs Life, Driver. One of the games I'm pretty stoked on getting. It's nothing special. Destruction Derby, for the PS1. I have the long box with manual, but I didn't have the game for it. So that's a nice add to that. There's a couple games in here, but there it is, Destruction Derby for the PS1. So happy to get that one. Next, there was a stack of Dreamcast games, random, because this is all there was for Dreamcast. Okay, now this first one is just case and manual, Speed Devils, and the next ones are all complete. We've got NFL Quarterback Club 2000, and I didn't have any of these games in my collection, so super stoked. I mean, I love finding Dreamcast stuff. F355 Challenge, NBA 2K1, World Series Baseball 2K1, Tee Off, and then the best two of the lot, Crazy Taxi 2 and Jet Grind Radio. And these are all in pretty good shape. Okay, next, there's a lot of stuff here. This was random. For the NES, it's a Quick Shot controller. Yeah, and Nintendo Joypad. So that was pretty cool, random in there. There was nothing else Nintendo in there. I think he said he had another box of stuff, but he definitely wasn't bringing that out. And then Game Boy. We've got a regular Game Boy. Same problem as the last one. The screen came off, but I can glue it right back on. It's not too scratched up or nothing. I have adhesive to put it back on there. But the Game Boy is in pretty nice shape. It's got the back, and it came with this light and I think it's just a magnifying glass. And then Game Boy Color with the back, and 5 games. We've got Disney's Tarzan, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Land 2, Rugrats, and Legend of the River King. So pretty good games right there. Okay, next I'll do the GameCube. So we got a GameCube console, and all the consoles that I got in this came complete with everything. 1 controller, and 3 whatever games. We've got The Incredibles, Madagascar, which I don't think I had that one in my collection, and Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3. And I think I was missing the disc for that one, so pretty good on that. I guess I'll show the Sega Genesis. Oh yeah, we got this too, Game Boy Color carrying case. And we've got a Sega Genesis Model 2 with one controller. And it came with a few loose games and then some complete in box. We've got NBA Live 96, NHL 96. Some of these I didn't have. RBI Baseball 4, which I've never seen that one, so that one's pretty cool to get. Tecmo Super Bowl 3. Usually the Tecmo games are pretty good ones. Wheel of Fortune. Of course, Sonic 2. And then these are the best two of the loose carts. We've got Kid Chameleon and World of Illusion starring Disney's Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And then the complete in box, well, we've got one game here that's box and manual, but I have the cart loose, so really sweet to get that one complete. Alien 3. And then this one's cool. I just got the NES version of this game, but now I have it complete for Sega Genesis. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Echo the Dolphin. Tasmania. Winter Olympic Games. And Tailspin. So some pretty good games. They all still have their hang tabs on there too. So that's really cool. Okay, and then the last one. Now this one, he was going to originally keep this. It's an N64. No expansion pack, just a regular jumper pack. N64 with 3 controllers. 2 original, we got Atomic and a gray. And then this junky, like crappy third-party one. And then a bunch of games. Now, he wanted to keep it, he had 3 Mario games, he was going to keep those and the system, but he couldn't get it to work. I was able to cleaned it up really good, cleaned the pins on the games, and it works just fine. So the games are NBA Live 99, WCW NWO Revenge, Wheel of Fortune, WCW NWO World Tour, Triple Play 2000, WCW Mayhem, Wale Country Club, NFL Quarterback Club 98, Off-Road Challenge, and then the best 3 games, we've got Super Mario 64, Mario Party, and Mario Kart 64. That was it for that lot. I paid $40. Super good deal. Couldn't believe, I found that, and it was like it was gonna be one of my last stops. We were on our way to go eat and stuff, and I'd already found that stuff from the first sale, so I was pretty stoked on that. And this just giant bundle, I mean, super saved the day on that one. Pretty happy with that one. So I'm getting ready to go home, and I see a yard sale sign, and I'm thinking, might as well hit it up. So I do, and sitting out was a Wii, complete in the box. Tested it out, everything works. And then there was a bunch of games. So hold on, we've got Wii Play. The game wasn't in there. Game Party, that one's complete. Alien Syndrome, just the disc. Destroy All Humans, Big Willie Unleashed. And then New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And the game wasn't in there either. And she had said that somebody came and they picked that up, saw that the game wasn't in there, and they passed. So I get home and crossing my fingers that it wasn't the Wii Play. It ended up being Super Mario Bros. Was inside the Wii. So $15 for everything, and it came with a Nyko charge dock and the 2 controllers and a couple other little add-ons and stuff. But $15 for that was a smoking deal right there. Okay, that was everything for the yard sale stuff. Now this stuff right here I got during the week. I went to my local game store and I did a couple trades. The game store is called Pixel Vault Games, so if you're in the area, I suggest going there. The owner is really cool. He's got some really good games, really good deals. Just it's a really cool place. You'll find some good stuff. He does really good trades and stuff like that. So Pixel Vault Games in Upland, or I think it's Ontario, California. So check it out. It's really good place. But I got some trades there, and then one pawn shop find. So I'll show you the pawn shop find first. This was on Wednesday. I went to the pawn shop and I saw an ad on Craigslist and they were listing like a Zelda game for the N64. So I went to check and see if they had anything else. I got a Bomberman 64 for $5. I mean, the label's faded, but that's the cheapest I've ever seen this game. So pretty cool on that one. Okay, now the trades. Now this first stack of trades I did with a buddy of mine. His name is Ryan. We just traded straight up 4 for 4. He had some games that I wanted for my collection, and I gave him some games. We met at Pixel Vault. So the trades are Lunar Pool. We've got Ninja Gaiden 2. It's in this little case. It's got a little damage right there, but I mean the game plays, so that's all I care about. And then 2 Genesis titles, both missing manuals. We got Echo, The Tides of Time, and X-Men. And then we went inside Pixel Vault, and I brought some stuff to trade in, get some cash and trade. So I traded in a bunch of games, got some cash, towards the weekend, so I had more money, which I'm glad I did, because I found a lot of good stuff this weekend. So I got cash, and then Rocket Knight Adventures, and this one's complete. Oh wait, no, it's missing the manual. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So just the game in the box, but still, I mean, I've been wanting this game, but I only wanted to get it if it had the box. So pretty sweet on that one. Pretty good trade. But yeah, that's everything. Pretty good day. I mean, that big crate of stuff. I mean, that was a good find. I'm glad I stumbled upon that one. So I got good gains across all systems, stuff I needed for my collection, stuff like that. So no I didn't get any N64 games for the collection from that sale, but I got so many of them. I'm pretty close to finishing it up. So, but yeah, that's everything, you guys. So pretty stoked on it, and tomorrow we're going to be going to San Bernardino swap meet, so I'm hoping to find some really good stuff there, so we'll see. But yeah, thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.